Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA. Let's talk about what is happening to NVIDIA, what we can expect moving forward, and all that good stuff. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor. Of course, if you enjoy my technical analysis, thoughts on the charts, etc. Well, again, I do share my thoughts with my members every single day as the market is trading, as the market is open. So definitely check that out. That link is, of course, down below. I'm constantly sharing thoughts, posts, updates. All these were just today. These ones you just saw right here, these are all just today, right? Some days more, some days less, depends on the market, of course. But again, all it is $3 a month. That's all it is, just $3 a month. And you get access to all my Tesla updates, technical analysis, different time frames, options flow, etc. And sometimes I do other market things as well. Like I'll talk about SPY, QQQ on the first tier as well. Second tier adds all of that plus NVIDIA. Then the third tier adds all of that plus non-Tesla, non-NVIDIA, and non like SPY, QQQ type updates as well, where I share with my members. Like I've been recently talking about Baba, Disney, Netflix, and there's a few more, of course, as well. So definitely check it out. Again, link is below. We'd love to have you there. But jumping into it, NVIDIA closing the day down about 0.9% on the day, closing at $181.50 per share, which compared to the market is going to be a bit of an underperformance, and especially underperforming its sister AMD, up a very impressive 5.5% almost as it broke out of this nice looking bull flag, and it reached my upper target here, which was actually, I shared this with my members. I mentioned if we break above this bull flag like this, my target is actually pretty much right here where we stopped at 187. Let's see if it goes any further. I actually think AMD is setting up a potential nice looking cup and handle here. I would love to see a potential handle moving next, and then we move up higher from there. That's what I would like to see. Let's see if we get that. But that to me will be pretty awesome, actually. Anyways, I'm kind of losing my point, my train of thought here. Going to NVIDIA. So what is NVIDIA doing, right? So it's worth mentioning tomorrow we have PPI. See how that goes. It's a bit of an unknown catalyst, if you will, right? What is the data going to be like? Cool, hot? How's the market going to react to it? Who knows? Could get a fake out in the morning, maybe a dump into a pump or a pump into a dump. Who knows? Nobody knows. But all we can do is we'll take a look at what the data and the candles essentially are telling us right now. And they're telling us the same thing they've been telling us every time. We have some decent volume today, actually. A little bit of extra volume today. You can see it's above the average of the volume in this little white line here. It did exceed that. But the price did end up sort of back slightly in the upper half of the middle of the range of today's overall range, right? We closed slightly above the half range. So we did come back down to 180, 179, right? I mentioned to my members, I don't know which post it was. It was one of the posts over here. I don't know. I think it was this one here. Yeah, NVIDIA 4 hours ago, right back into the 90 EMA and the 179 and 180 support range, building to continue holding this. And what do we do? We continued holding it once again. So again, while we're in the thick of it, I'm here trying to update my members. I don't run from it, right? In the thick of it, I'm here. And hey, look at that. Once again, we found support. What a surprise that is. It's almost like it's the 5th day in a row that the same thing has happened every single time. So it's just, the story is pretty simple, right? We're getting a lot of consolidation here. We're getting a lot of doji candles, right? We're getting 3 in a row of doji candles. Technically, arguably, this is pretty close to being a doji, this one from 5 days ago. The only one that really isn't is this kind of fatter one over here. But we're getting like almost doji-like candles here, where essentially the candle's body is, fairly narrow and usually around the center, if you will, of the overall width, if you will, of the total range of the price was trading in, with, nice wicks above and below. It just shows indecision, essentially, right? It does show indecision, but it also shows a little bit of a consolidation, right? But again, it's hard for me not to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt. Now, it doesn't come with some potential concerns, which I'll go over soon, but it's still hard for me not to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt, at least for now, because why? Well, we still have the stock holding the key level, 179 to 180. As long as that continues holding and we don't start closing at least one daily candle below it, if not multiple daily candles below it. Like for instance, we come down and close a daily candle below, come back up, retest it, and it's now truly resistance. Yeah, that's a problem, right? And then we start potentially printing maybe a bearish head and shoulders pattern, right? This could be a problem. Absolutely, this could happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It absolutely could happen. But is there anything suggesting that this is going to happen right now? No. Nothing is suggesting me that this is going to happen. Nothing is telling me this is going to happen. This is just me potentially predicting what could happen. But it doesn't matter what could happen. What we care about is, what is the chart telling us? Is it telling us that the bulls are in control? Are we above 180 and 179? The answer is yes. Are we above the 9 exponential moving average? The answer is yes. Has that been continued to prove as a strong bullish signal for this stock for many weeks, many months even at this point? Yes, right? So again, until those factors are eliminated, which at some point they will be, I've said this many times and I will say it again, at some point it'll fall apart. At some point we will lose these levels. We will lose the 9 EMA. We will reverse and the stock will correct. It will happen. I guarantee it'll happen. The question is just when. I don't know when it's going to happen, but until the chart starts telling me it's looking like it's ready to happen, I will continue giving bulls the benefit of the doubt and continue riding the stock higher. So again, simply put, as long as NVIDIA 179 to 180, as long as it's held and we don't start closing at least a daily candle, if not multiple candles below that, bulls are in control. However, with that being said, let's go to the 1 hour here. The bulls need to also go ahead and break above this upper range here. You can see we're just consolidating sideways. We're consolidating sideways for several days now, about a week of trading actually, since last week, but we need to break above this level. This morning, we ended up getting close to it, but what did we do? Well, we got rejected right at it. This is what I was also updating my members about this morning, right? Came right up into this exact same range, the same range that's been, destroying the stock and rejecting it every single time. And we got destroyed once again. And then the bulls came in and then they brought it back up once again. And we pretty much closed right dead smack in the center for the most parts. So again, below 179, 180, okay. Bulls are definitely losing some grip here. However, above 183, 184, the bulls are getting stronger grip, if you will, on the stock. And we most likely continue higher. That's it. There's really not much else to say about this. It's really just that simple. NVIDIA, honestly, NVIDIA, I need to be trading more. I don't trade it enough for how simple the stock is. The stock moves just very systematically. It's one of the most systematical stocks I've ever seen, to be completely honest with you. It's very systematic in the sense that it respects pretty simple technical analysis. Like, you don't need to do anything completely crazy or extravagant on the stock to trade it. It just, maybe because it's such a large cap, it is pretty much the largest cap, but it does move. It does respect technicals pretty nicely too, I must admit, which, it's a pretty good stock. I don't trade it enough as much as I should, to be honest. I should be trading it more. But nonetheless, overall, like I said, below that, we most likely come back down at least to the 21 EMO, mid 170s, but even closer to the low 170s to retest the bottom end of this channel. Wouldn't shock me if we lose that. Then we'll start talking about more bearish alternatives. But for now, that'll be my lower end target if we start closing and losing 179 to 180 roughly. However, to the upside, like I said, if we start closing and breaking above 183 to 4 and start turning it back into support, yeah, that's when I see a nice move up and most likely maybe even a quick pop, if you will, to the 192 maybe ish, give or take region, 193, depends on how quick it happens, but somewhere around the low 190s will be my kind of shorter term target, at which point I would expect a rejection, come back down, and then most likely one more final pop to closer to $200 per share into earnings. This is kind of my bullish scenario right now that I expect to happen as long as that 179 to 180 gets defended. Something like this is what I expect. Nice little move, bull flag higher. And I think this will create some crazy large divergences. And I think this will be a trap. That's my current expectation. Let's see how it goes, though. Let's see how it goes. But it is worth noting some potential concerning signs. What are those concerning signs that are slowly developing? Well, the MACD, obviously, it's very elevated. So like I said, the music is going to stop at some point. We are, elevated for sure. The stock is very, very much elevated. It is going to correct at some point or another. Could be after earnings. Maybe it'll happen tomorrow off of PPI. Who knows? But as of right now, nothing is suggesting that other than the fact that the stock, it is elevated. Absolutely, right? If I zoom out, the MACD is pretty much the second highest level it's pretty much ever been, really. So very elevated. It is going to correct and it is going to reset at some point. Of course it is. That's just how things go. It's not going to just stay up here for the rest of eternity, right? So that is something to be concerned about potentially, right? It is, you are playing with fire a little bit up here, but it's also got strong bullish momentum. Until proven otherwise, I continue to believe that. And the other concerning sign is the fact that the SMI, right, as we're continuing from down here to go higher, 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 and essentially making higher highs, higher lows consistently for the most part. Yeah, this is doing the exact opposite, right? It's doing lower highs consistently. So higher highs into lower highs on the SMI. That's a bit of a concern. So let's see how this plays out, right? Let's see how this goes. Again, I still lean bullish. I have no reason not to lean bullish as long as this level is defended. As long as this is defended, I lean bullish. If it's lost, we come down here and I still lean bullish. It'll just be short-term bearishness into potential bullish continuation from here. So we could get a fake out drop down here and then rocket. That is a possibility. But again, one step at a time, right? One step at a time. I think that's pretty much all I got. Let's take a look at options flow very quickly, right? NVIDIA, nice little bullish flow actually in the last few minutes of the day here, including a 1.8 million 180 strike call that came in for, what is that, August 29th, actually pretty nice into earnings. I think earnings is on the 27th, so right into earnings. See how that plays out. And then we also had something nice here. This one was pretty interesting. So we had a 7 million put for December 19th, 165 strike. But the one that really caught my eye is this one. Highly unusual because the size you can see is very high relative to the open interest of that specific contract. September 12th, 185 strike, 4.2 million. Pretty nice, pretty bullish. So let's see how that develops and what that leads into. But yeah, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace.